Back here on Sportsline, talking about Super Bowl 54. The Chiefs are champions for the first time since 1969. And if you want to know just how long ago that was the final year where the Super Bowl was contested between the AFL champion, which were the Kansas City Chiefs, and the NFL champion. The next year, the two leagues were fully merged in 1970, and it became AFC and NFC. So the Lamar Hunt Trophy that goes to the AFC champion, the Chiefs got for the first time ever when they beat the Titans a couple of weeks ago in the AFC Championship game. And that, of course, is ironic because it's named after their late owner, who is co-founder, really, of the AFL, along with Bud Adams, the Titans owner. So kind of a historic matchup there in the AFC Championship game. The Chiefs finally get their hands on that trophy, and then they go to the Super Bowl and win the Lombardi Trophy for the first time in 50 years. Phone lines are open tonight, 737-7767. Your thoughts on the game yesterday, how it played out, the Chiefs comeback, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers let it get away in some regards in the fourth quarter. We start tonight with LD. LD, how are you?
Hey, guy, I'm totally fine. I was able to catch a glimpse of the Super Bowl. I had to work, time is hard right now, so you got to pay the bills. But I will say this, from what I noticed on the game, those guys were matched, power for power. The running back play was basically the same for a couple of quarters, although Kansas City running game did end up being explosive in the second half. I will say this, there's something special on Kansas City team, and I just always think back to the SEC draft, strong SEC presence that they had on that team for quite some time. And I was thinking to myself, even in those years, the Big Red Machine is about to come back around. It's just taking some bit of time or something. Maybe it was getting rid of Alex. Maybe it was something else in the hinges that was going around. But I knew that they were going to be a great team. Super Bowl champions, I didn't see it. And even last night, again, another comeback. So I believe someone on that defensive team, I don't know his first or last name, there's something special on that defense. And it takes those type of players to get the job done. I believe Mahomes is our MVP, so he will get a lot of, conversation and kudos for it. But I want to say there's a guy somewhere on that defense with a first and last name, and he's presenting a very, very strong presence on that football field. To have another comeback without Mahomes having the ball is what I'm saying. That was a defensive stop, and let's get this job done by the Kansas City Super Bowl, from what I saw.
Yeah, I think one of the things that people made the mistake, and I think this is a potential criticism of the 49ers last night, is the fact that a lot of people tried to play defense against the Chiefs' offense by having their offense control the ball and keep it out of their hands, so to speak. I think part of the problem is the Chiefs are going to get theirs one way or another. We learned that in these playoffs. At some point, they're just going to go off, and they're going to string together 14 or 21 points in a row. What you have to be able to do is you have to be able to match that. You have to be able to put up your own points, and if you're scoring early and they're not, you have to put your foot on the pedal and try and kind of stomp them out, because at some point they're going to get going. And late in the game, if they're going, you've got to try to match them. And I think the 49ers, they were conservative before halftime, maybe cost themselves a chance to get the lead before the half. Then obviously they built the lead in the third quarter, but then in the fourth quarter when the Chiefs got going, it was 3 and out. Turnover on downs. It was not good offense from San Francisco in the fourth quarter. Garoppolo's passer rating was a 2 in the fourth quarter. That's not how you're going to win. And conversely, Patrick Mahomes, who had his worst game by far of the postseason, but in the fourth quarter, he looked like Patrick Mahomes, the MVP, in leading the Chiefs to 3 consecutive touchdown drives.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I believe he's a great talent. I think he's going to be a great quarterback. But I still am an SEC fanatic, man. That year that those guys came, LSU, Tennessee, Alabama, so forth and so on, it gave that defense a little bit of stability to last these years, and now they're champions.
Yeah. LD, thanks for the call. There's no question the defensive improvement by the Chiefs hit on a little bit in the first segment, but at the beginning of the year, they were a bottom 5, bottom 7 type of defense in the NFL. And then after losing to the Titans in Week 10, which was the Chiefs' last loss when they came here to Nashville and got that field goal blocked on the final play of the game and lost the game 35-32. From that point on, they allowed 14 points per game to the end of the regular season. They gave up 24 to the Texans. They gave up 24 to the Titans. They gave up 20 to the 49ers. Some of that wasn't all on the defense, especially in the Houston game. But this was a defense that was much, much improved as the season went along to go along with that offense. And that is a big reason why they are Super Bowl champions here today. Back to the phone. Say hello to Anthony. Anthony, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I actually thought they were beat. I couldn't even watch it. I turned it back right about 6 minutes ago. I thought they're beat. I just thought they're beat. And I don't know, somehow or another they just got that one touchdown and they got that other touchdown. I thought, well, San Francisco was going to get the other touchdown, but I don't know what happened after that because I turned it and didn't watch it more of it.
Yeah, well, after the Chiefs took the lead, they went 3 and out, and Kansas City got the ball right back. And San Francisco had some timeouts, so they had to get a stop quickly and try and get the ball back for one last desperate possession. Instead, Damian Williams busted free. He could have taken the knee and gone down and pretty much iced the game away, but he put it away in style by running into the end zone, and that's how it was 31-20.
Okay. I think they played not to lose. San Francisco played not to lose, no other than to win. I think they figured they tried not to lose. That's what I figured. That's the way it looked to me.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit I saw of it.
I think there's people who certainly agree with you, Anthony. Here's the problem with that is, so in the fourth quarter when Kansas City was rolling, it became evident to Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers that they were going to have to get something going offensively. But here's what happens there. You go 3 and out on one possession as you're trying to be aggressive and throw, and you give the ball right back to that Kansas City machine immediately, and then they go down and score again. The Chiefs' first 2 touchdowns were lightning fast. It went from a 10-0 or a 10-point 49ers lead to a Chiefs lead just like that. It was a blink of an eye, basically, in the fourth quarter. And then you know you have to score, and so you're trying to be aggressive again. You hit a big play, but then you stall out at midfield again, and you turn it over on downs. Those types of moments are challenging because you've got to be aggressive. But, man, if you don't hit, all of a sudden it goes right back into Mahomes' hands, and they can put up points again. They can extend that lead. They can stretch out their run as they did against Houston, as they did against Tennessee, and as they did last night in Super Bowl 54 against San Francisco. So it's kind of a double-edged sword as you try to figure out your game plan. Do you want to possess the ball and take time off the clock? Sometimes maybe forgoing some of your best plays, but to try to play keep away from Mahomes and company as much as possible, to keep them out of a rhythm. Is that the best way to approach them? Or do you have to try to go shot for shot with them? Maybe you can. Maybe you can take advantage of that defense. That's how the Titans were the last team to beat them, by scoring 35 points here in Nashville. But what happens if you don't hit? What happens if you go 3 and out and you give the ball right back to that Chiefs team? That's how things can snowball and get out of control on you in a hurry. And it did last night in the fourth quarter for the 49ers. Patrick Mahomes, the MVP of Super Bowl 54. He was at the podium after the game last night to talk about the comeback and what it means to bring back a championship to the city of Kansas City.
I don't know if you call it that. I mean, I just try to fight. I think that was the biggest thing. Obviously, the third quarter didn't go the way I wanted it to. I tried to force some things and got some turnovers. I mean, that's a really good defense, And so didn't play to my liking in the third quarter, but the guys believed in me, gave me confidence. We kept fighting, and we found ways to win it in the end. It's amazing. I mean, it really is amazing. I mean, just to be here, it's surreal. finding a way to win in the end. With these guys I have around me, we'll enjoy this for a long time. I mean, it truly is historic to be here and to win this game.
How did you manage to find what you guys deserve?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I never have that mindset. To me, my mindset is always play and compete until the very last whistle, until that clock strikes zero. And so I just went out there and kept competing. I knew we weren't in the ideal situation, but I believed in my defense to get stops, and they did. And then the guys kept believing in me and started making plays downfield, and we found a way to win.
What was that one play that you felt turned this thing? Was there any particular moment? Was it what the defense did? Was it a pass completion?
Yeah, I think it was the 3rd and 15 when we hit Tyreek down the field. I mean, we were in a bad situation, especially with that pass rush. You knew those guys were have their ears pinned back, and they were going to be rushing in. The offensive line gave me enough time to throw a really deep route, and I just put it out there, and Tyreek made a great play. And so that got us going. We were able to get it down there and score that drive, and then got the ball back because the defense got a nice stop.
Matt, do you put aside all the talk that people want to go into, 10, 15 years down the road, talking about Hall of Fame, talking about all this? What do you do to just sort of just not even think about that?
I believe maximizing every single day. I mean, that's the thing with me. I take it one day at a time and go out there and try to be the best person and the best athlete and the best player I can be. And I mean, obviously, I've had a good start to my career. I mean, I've been blessed to be in a great organization with a lot of great players around me. Make my job a lot easier. But I know it's going to take a long time of consistency if I want to be where I want to be at in the end. And I'm lucky enough that I have a lot of great people around me that I have a chance to go out there every single year and compete.
Matt, I think your mind when they forced the punt, when you guys forced the punt with 5 minutes left, you're down 3, you know you're getting a chance. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I have that same mindset. Just compete. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I'm just going to take it one play at a time. I believe in the guys I have around me. I believe that we're going to go down there and find a way to score, and we did. And I think it's just it's credit to all my teammates. I mean, honestly, just for them to believe in me after how I was playing in the 3rd quarter and believe that I'm going to go out there and keep fighting and keep throwing it no matter what, and those guys were making plays. Say it one more time. Yeah, it was amazing. It really was. I had 2 goals when I became the starting quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, and the first goal was to win the Lamar Hunt Trophy. I wanted to bring it home, the one that has our founder's name on it. I wanted to bring it to this family and this organization. And the second most important thing was to get Coach Reed a Super Bowl trophy. I mean, he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. I don't think he needed the Lombardi Trophy to prove that, but just to do that, I mean, it puts all doubt aside, and he's going to be listed as one of the all-time great coaches in history whenever he wants to be done, which I hope is not anytime soon. Which one was 44 yards? Oh, yeah. So they were playing this kind of robber coverage all game long where the safety was coming down and kind of robbing all our deep cross routes. And we had a good play call on where we had Kelsey kind of doing a little like stutter deep cross, and when we had Tyreek getting one-on-one with that safety. But the biggest thing is that we needed really good protection, and because it was a long route, and it was actually the same play we ran against New England in the playoffs last year where I hit him down the sideline. And so we got good protection by the offensive line, gave me enough time, and then I put it out there, and Tyreek made a great play. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing the dynasty or whatever you want to call it the Patriots have had these last 15 to 20 years. And so for me, it's about taking it 1 year at a time. We came up short last year. We understood how hard of a challenge it was to get into this position again, and we found a way to do it. And we understand next year that when we come back and we enjoy this and then we come back next year, it's going to be just hard, the same amount of tenacity and dedication every single day if we want to be here. And so I think we just take it 1 year at a time, one day at a time, and try to put together great years. And then at the end of it all, we'll have no regrets on where we're at.
Patrick Mahomes, MVP of Super Bowl 54 after getting it done in the 4th quarter last night. 737-7767, the number. Still lines open if you'd like to get in on the discussion tonight. We'll go to John. John, how are you?
Hello. What's up? Yeah, it's me, John Boy. What's up?
What's going on, John?
Hey, in the Super Bowl, I'm good. They messed up when the 49ers got that touchdown pass when he stepped his foot in. They cheated the 49ers out because referee.
Hey, John, you're going to have to turn your TV down.
Turn it down. Turn TV down. But they cheated the 49ers out when they got that touchdown pass.
You're talking on the Damian Williams one where they went ahead?
Yeah, when they went ahead and the 49ers stepped his foot in that touchdown line, the referee did not call that.
Yeah, that was close. I saw it, and thanks for the call, John. I saw it at the time, and I thought it looked like his foot might have been out of bounds at the 2-yard line, but he was reaching for the end zone, and they didn't have a great angle that gave you exactly where the ball was. The camera was just off of the goal line, and so it was really difficult to see. The call on the field was that he crossed the plane of the goal line. He certainly was reaching the ball out as he did it, but his foot also certainly stepped out at the 2-yard line. I thought that he was maybe just shy of the goal line, and it should have been 4th and goal. But I don't know how you overturn it based off of the angles we have. And by the way, just an aside, and this is nothing against the broadcast. I think they did a really good job last night. It was a good game. It was good production all the way around. But you have 147 cameras. 147. And you can't have a camera on the goal line that allows you to see that perfectly? Because that could have been a monumental play in the game. The Chiefs obviously scored on it and went up 24-20. But if Damian Williams is ruled shy of the goal line there, it's 4th and goal. And it's a 20-17 game. If you're Andy Reid, you're going to have to think long and hard about kicking the field goal to just make sure you tie the game at that point. You can't get stopped. You can't come away with nothing there at that point of the game. And so does that change it completely? Do the Chiefs go for a field goal, and then is the game tied, and how does it play out differently if that's the case? Instead, Damian Williams ruled into the end zone for a touchdown. The Chiefs go up 24-20. Now the pressure's on the 49ers to try to mount a comeback of their own and answer. They turn it over on downs, and quickly Damian Williams is running back the other way on a break through the line type of run, and he puts the game away with another touchdown. But that was a critical moment in the game. There's no question about it. I don't think they necessarily got it wrong. I think it was a bang-bang play. But the replay didn't give them an opportunity to overturn what was called on the field. So you're going to have to assume that they just got it right. But, man, it could have played out much, much differently if we had the angle to see exactly where it was, and Williams was indeed short of the goal line. Phone lines are still open at 737-7767. Actually, every line is open at the moment if you'd like to get in on the program. We can get to more of your calls when we come back. More sound from the champions as well. This is Sportsline on News Channel 5 Plus.